All right, Ayo Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Kadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to you brothers out on the highways and byways, pushing this truth with fear and sincerity. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Chalak Har come back at you with another video. And in these last days, one of the plagues that will come to the land, right, is famine, especially to America, Babylon the Great, right? When the Lord judges a land, a sinful nation, he sends famine upon that land, right? That's in the scriptures. That's part of the scriptures. As a matter of fact, let's just start there. Ezekiel 14. And I think let's start at 19. Ezekiel 14 and verse 19, it says, "Or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by the righteousness," right? One way to, escape the plagues, right? Come out of her, my people, be not partakers of her sins, right? One of the ways you escape these plagues is following out the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, right? Taking heed to the message from the prophets, starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, repenting and seeking the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, right? Who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. You have to be diligently seeking, especially once you found the Lord, you got to seek Him 10 times more. And the way you escape this judgment, just like Noah, Daniel, Job, right? They were righteous in the Most High's eyes, right? They were the elect of their time to get this understanding and get this knowledge and apply it. The same thing with us. You got to apply this knowledge, right? You can't just, I'm an Israelite and that's it. Kuwaya. Can't wait till we get to the kingdom. No, you have to apply, right? And that's renewing of your mind, like it talks about in Romans, the 12th chapter. Doing the things that's pleasing unto the Heavenly Father as they've been made known to us, right? They've been made known to us. Here's the point. Verse 21 says, "For thus saith the Lord power, how much more when I send my 80 judgments," right? This is one of the judgments of the Heavenly Father, "upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast. It says, yet behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. Behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it," right? And we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. We know 2/3 of our people are going to be affected heavily by this famine, right? As the scriptures say, I think in Isaiah the 65th chapter, it says, "My servants shall eat," right? You're going to be hungry, but my servants shall eat, right? Because we know this food crisis, right? As a matter of fact, in Haiti, there's a crazy food crisis in Haiti, right? The Lord is judging them for sure. And those are our people. Much so the rest of the world, right? The rest of the world, when this crisis becomes a huge issue, right? It's going to be very humbling, right? When people don't have nothing to eat, right? And we love to eat. We a plate of food, nourishment, substance, fill your belly up. But, as followers of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, right? Followers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, right? We got to learn, we should be fasting, right? You should be fasting more. You should be trying to control your appetite. You should be trying to do these things, because when that famine comes, you're going to be hungry. And you might be hungry for 2 to 3 days, and then the Lord might, bless you and send you something your way. But You should be practicing. You should be rehearsing the righteous acts where you don't eat for a couple days, for 24 hours, nothing, right? These are things that you should be practicing for sure. Let's get this video real quick.
To say I was at all soybeans and $150 an acre loss, you're looking at $450,000 of loss for just doing my job. I'm paying an additional $450,000 instead of making anything. I've never seen a crisis like this. Without intervention, we're talking about generational loss of farmers.
In the last year, farm bankruptcies here in Arkansas have nearly doubled. The story in the media is that's because of Trump's trade war with China. And now that China has agreed to a deal, the crisis will pass. But that story is wrong.
The tariffs are a problem, but think of it as being in a coffin, and we're going to nail the lid shut. The tariffs are the final nail.
This crisis was here before he did the tariff thing. This is a crisis that's been building for decades.
Farmers here told us a bigger story. A handful of companies have built a global system in which they always win, and American farmers are lucky to break even, all supported by our tax dollars.
They're just laundering tax money. None of it stays in the local community.
And while our farmers are dependent on growing crops for countries like China, we import more of our food than ever.
The bigger story is we're very vulnerable to the whims of other countries.
With thousands of farmers on the brink, we wanted to know, how did this happen? And if a deal with China won't save American farmers?
Yeah, but, because this crisis is not coming not only to the people, but it starts at the farmers, right? As the scriptures say in Joel, the 1st chapter, around 11 verse, I'll start at 10. In the NLT, it says, the fields are ruined, the land is stripped bare, the grain is destroyed, the grapes have shriveled. It says the olive oil is gone. Despair, all you farmers, right? These farmers are catching hell out here. They're catching complete hell, right? The government don't want to help them, don't want to give them subsidized things to, equipment, money to grow their produce, their crops. Right, they're dumping oranges in fields and letting them rot. Right, this is an orchestrated plan to destroy this place, by that cruel Lord. As a matter of fact, listen to this. Hold on, Salakia.
Serious, and you need to grab a. I am forewarning you. You need to fucking sit down for this one. I'm serious, and you need to grab a Trump supporter. And listen to this. Trump is seeking to pay for his new $1.5 trillion military budget by cutting the following: $510 million grants for farmers, $82 million loans for rural small businesses, fully eliminates that program. $61 million support for farmers, fully eliminated. $240 million school meal and food education. $659 million community building grants. $49 million support for minority-owned businesses, fully eliminated. $449 million economic development grants for communities. $1.6 billion weather forecasting, fisheries, and coastal protection. NOAA, the program they already cut, which has led to a shit ton of people dying over these weather events. $993 million scientific research and technology standards. $150 million support for American exports and trade. $2.2 billion broadband internet access in rural.
This nigga crazy, right? Trump is crazy. He's that cruel Lord. He's that guy, right? And if you don't believe he's not that guy to bring in that Novo Sodociclorium, right, through the wicked elite, helping the wicked elite bring this, bankrupting this country. It's insolvent. They don't have money to pay back. Nobody don't want to buy the debt. They're trading in different oil money, currency, and whatnot. This is that guy. This is that guy. We know, and not only that, we know through the famine, it's worse than death, as it says in Lamentations 4. And chapter or Lamentations 4 and 9, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Right? If you have to perish by famine, that's worse than being hit with the sword, right? You get hit with the sword, you bleed out, you get pain. But when you down a famine, your body eats itself. Your organs, they all eat upon itself, right? When you're not putting anything in it, and you shrivel up, and I can imagine that's a very, very painful way to go out. And that's how a lot of people gonna have to go out, right? That's how a lot of people gonna have to go out because of the judgment. This is 2 Esdras 15, and I'm gonna start at 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled," right? Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, right? This place, Babylon the Great, right? Her sins are reaching up to heaven, right? And these devils are moving real fast, right? They're moving real fast because they know that they have but a short time. So they got to move with intent. They got to do what they need to do, right, to try to complete their Novus Ordo Seclorum, right? They think they're going to complete it, but they're not going to be able to, right? They're not going to be able to. Let me get one more. I'm going to go into this again, much, detail. Let's get Matthew 24. I'm going to crunch for time a little bit right now. So Matthew 24 and verse 4 says, and Yahushua answered, nothing but confusion. And Yahushua answered unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye not be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Famines, right? More and more famines are coming out. More and more each as we get closer and closer to the end of this man's age, his kingdom, his queendom, right? You're gonna see more and more food scarcity, right? You're gonna see more people hungry. You're gonna see more people desperate, right? And it's gonna humble a lot of people. So I hope it's edified. I hope you got somebody else. Hope to see you on the next video, Lord.